This video is to show you the notes in Algebra 3 for the first unit, section P.1, Algebraic Expressions, Mathematical Models, and Real Numbers. There's a lot more in this unit than you need to understand for this course. So I'm just going to touch on the items that you really do need to understand and items that you're reviewing and you will be practicing. The first thing I want you to be able to do is evaluate an expression. So evaluating the expression is you're just putting a number or another expression into a variable. So my first example, I have the expression x squared minus 5x plus 2. And I just want to evaluate it for x equals negative 3. Notice my expression isn't equal something. I'm not solving for x. I'm just replacing x. So I put negative 3 everywhere there is an x. But I do use parentheses, and that just helps me from making a mistake, putting numbers together or forgetting to do an operation, order of operations, especially with negative numbers. So I replaced the x with a negative 3 everywhere. Then I started simplifying, and I make sure I understand negative 3 squared is not negative 9. Negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 is a positive 9. So be very careful. Don't get lazy. I know you understand this, just be very careful. And then when I add all the numbers together, I get 26. And I like to check it with the calculator. And there's lots of ways to check it with the calculator. One of the ways that you can check it is I'm going to store negative 3 for x. So negative 3, and the store button is right above the on. And I hit x and I hit enter. Now I'm going to type in the original equation. So I get x squared minus 5x plus 2, and I hit enter, and I get 26. So being able to do it without a calculator is important, and also checking your work. My next example, I have 3a minus 7b cubed. So I have two different variables. So everywhere there's an a, I'm going to replace it with a 4, and everywhere there's a b, I'm going to replace it with a negative 5. So 3 multiplied by 4 minus 7 multiplied by negative 5 cubed. Notice I'm using parentheses. I think it's very important. I do the math following order of operations. Continue with the math. And I'm not picking up a calculator for the most part. It's fine if you do, but I want you to understand the math behind this. And my final answer is 887. And I can check it with a calculator. In this case, since I have an a and a b, I could store for a and b if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and type in 3 times 4 minus 7 times negative 5 raised to the third power. And I get my answer. The other part of this section that's important is simplifying expressions. And you've done that, combining like terms since Algebra 1. Let me move this up a little bit. So my first example is I've got 5 multiplied by the quantity 2x plus 1 minus 3 multiplied by the quantity 7x plus 4. Making sure I do everything correctly, I'm first going to distribute the 5 to the 2x and the 1. Then I'm going to distribute the negative 3 to the 7x and the 4. And just go slow and be careful. Then I combine like terms. So the 10x and a negative 21x combine to make a negative 11x. And the 5 minus the 12 is a negative 7. That's a fairly simple problem. In this textbook, you're going to find that they get more complicated as well, which it's the same process. Just go slowly. So this one here, which you've noticed, I've got brackets. And if you've not seen brackets before, they're just another set of parentheses. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner. So 3x squared minus 4x minus, and then I've got a bracket and more expressions inside, and I end that bracket. I purposely wrote this one here because the minus sign in front of this bracket is meaning I'm going to multiply everything inside that bracket by negative 1. But the process I use is I'm going to go ahead and take care of everything inside here first. So I'm going to distribute the 2, and I get 2x squared plus 2. I'm going to distribute this negative sign, and I get negative 7x plus 5. Then I'm going to distribute this negative, then I combine like terms, the 2 and the 7, 2 and the 5 made the 7. Then I'm going to distribute the negative sign on my next step. So I get a negative 2x squared, a positive 7x, and a negative 7. Now I'm just going to combine like terms. This 3x squared and the negative 2x squared gets combined to make an x squared. The negative 4x and a positive 7x combine to make a 3x, and then negative 7 by itself. There are ways to check this, and we could talk about this if you want ways to check it.